everyone. We're continuing our walkthrough now of SpongeBob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom 15-minute version. This is part 44 of our SpongeBob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom 15-minute version walkthrough. In the last part, we got the shiny objects on Mrs. Puff's slide, which you could tell is Guppy Mound, and we did everything on Bubble Buddy's slide, which is Flounder Hill. And right now we're in Sand Mountain, in this case Larry's slide, and trying to get that sock. You could tell where I told you on the ice patches where we can only use Sandy because of the swing hook. So that's the cue. A, meaning that that's Sandy's, you can only use Sandy, and B, why? So yeah, so we'll try it again, starting now. See, because we have to go down there again to those ice patches. Now remember that shell experience I said with the swing hook that we did in the last video? Let's see if we could do that again, because that'll give us a boost. And also that will help us time-wise. So we don't have to A, rope as much, and B, take a longer amount of time to do this sock, that is. Because do you see the swing hook right here? If we take this trampoline, and see, sometimes when you miss, you have to rope back like I did. So first, we'll touch the button, just so we can open the shortcut for a little later. Now see, it's happening again. Did you see the fast boost up? So now you can tell, and I explained to you why we needed to use Sandy on these ice patches in the last video too. Because of these large gaps and the swing hook. But you could tell there are a lot of robots on these patches too. So see, I just beat the chuck and we got the last sock. So now you could tell we're done with Sand Mountain completely sock-wise. So now because of that, we're now going to go to beat Larry's time. Because that down the slide to get the sock was the only objective we had in this case. So we'll explode this and bolt that at the same time, so we can get a bigger combo. And now we'll change into Sandy and get the spatula by Larry. So now you can tell spatula-wise, when we collect this one, we're now 7/20ths done with the game, spatula-wise. And now we'll get this other one. And when we collect this one, we'll be 9/25ths done. Now I forgot to do our thing when collecting a spatula, which is this. Because that's our method using Sandy. Just so you know. So now we'll exit Sand Mountain and beat Sandy when we go back to the ski lodge. Like you see we are right now. Now remember that button we pushed when we were SpongeBob? You could tell this is a challenge for Sandy. So we'll do it with these swing hooks now, because of the player's way of doing this. Now see, you could tell I just reached the first swing hook just from door 3, right? And I did that over here to this 5th one, right? So I could tell you, proving wise, that's a shorter way than just doing all 3 of those swing hooks to get the spatula easier. So we'll release now. Now see, did you hear that sword sound? remember, like I said, that's the hated sound I say in the that I don't like when someone gets what sounding wise when there's a spatula to be gotten in the whole game.
Nothing a land critter can't handle. Ow!
Now see, we're almost above 15. We're almost at exactly 15,000. See, we just reached past it. Did you see that? So now we'll go to Frosty Bungee, because that's the last one. And remember, we paid for the clam and the doors in the first video of Sand Mountain. So see, if there are robots on the bungee, it's better to use the bungee to kill them. Because A, you don't have to do it manually, and B, it gives you more than an advantage of killing them, and also a safer way. So you don't have to die as easily in the game. Now see, there was the sound again. Did you hear it? So you could tell when we collected that spatula, now we're 19/50ths done with the game, spatula-wise. So now you can tell I bowled the Duplicatron, and now, because we did that, we'll talk with Plankton.
Keep up the good work, buddy of mine, and don't forget to help me out with the chum bucket.
So now, before we talk with Squidward, because this is the end of Sand Mountain, we'll bowl this Thunder Tiki so that shiny objects...
Now I can go get my equipment and ski in peace.
Shiny objects can calculate while SpongeBob and Squidward are talking. But you could tell the only reason why SpongeBob and Squidward are talking is because all the challenges are completed. And usually, remember, like it is with the character close to the taxi, that means there's a main challenge. And in this case, Squidward does say something at the end, like it does with, say for example, End of the Road with Downtown Bikini Bottom, or Return the Museum's Art with Rock Bottom, or yeah, it seems like only those two.
Actually, I think that Patrick borrowed your equipment.
What? Who said he could do that?
I did. I figured if you didn't know, you wouldn't mind. Again.
Wouldn't mind? Of course I mind! It's one of the most expensive skiing equipment you can buy! And what does Patrick want with that stuff anyway? He doesn't even know how to ski.
See, you'll see Patrick now.
I want the worm now!
Do you see where he is? Now listen to what Squidward says.
I'm calling the moving company tomorrow. I'm calling the moving company tomorrow.
Okay, so now you could tell we're done with Sand Mountain completely, both spatula-wise and sock-wise. So now, hang on, I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm kind of deciding what spatulas we should do as our 2 requirement for the industrial park. And we'll stop in the video wherever we are, because when we reach 40 after the bubbles, I thought that would be a good place to stop. Part-wise, because I think for a robot battle, for each new part is a good idea. So now you can tell we're at exactly 15,400 shiny objects. And see, now we'll be at exactly 15,500. See that? So now we'll come over here, because this is the best way, reaching-wise, to reach the spatula over here. Because the spatula we're getting right now is get to the museum in Rock Bottom. So place-wise for our requirements, we're going to do the rest in Rock Bottom. Or no, not the rest. We're going to leave the spatula by Mrs. Puff and do the other 2. For example, this is one of them. The one get to the museum. So you could tell, remember like I said when we collected the Frosty Bungee spatula? You could tell we're 19/50ths done with the game spatula-wise. So now we'll get this one. And then, using Sandy to go to the museum, we'll get the next one. So do you see how many spatulas we have now? You can see common-wise, there are the 2 numbers that I hate. Can you visualize that? Because remember how I told you that a few parts ago?
Hey there, Barnacle Boy.
Say, warn me if that sponge kid comes back again, okay?
So now, we're going to have to go in the teleport box just to be safe. Wait, I got an idea. Dang. Oh, I just realized it hit exactly our limit. So, when we make the bubbles go away and we save our game, we'll stop the part. So see, you could tell when we collect this spatula, you could tell now A, we're 2/5 done with the game, and B, we have enough for the industrial park. Yeah, and like I said with the A, we're 2/5 done with the game, spatula-wise. And also, the question mark that you guys saw for Rock Bottom is now gone, because we got the spatula for there. So like I said, we have now enough for the industrial park. So now I'm going to go to On Top of Shady Shoals in Bikini Bottom, and now go to the gate for the industrial park, and then save our game, and then stop. So I'll stop here. So yeah, that'll end part 43, and I'll see you guys in part 44.